I'm so grateful for another day to help stimulate the mental. Time to strategize, huddle up, where's your circle? I can feel the moment radiate through the convo. Talk is cheap, turn your faith into work. I drink my second cup and put my hands in the dirt. 2 cups, drinking straight drip from the earth. Caffeinated conversations, you heard them here first. One for the wake up. One for the wake up. 2 for the work. Caffeinated conversations, you heard them here first. Cups Café, when I'm your host, Allen C. Jackson, who I have coming through for a high-quality caffeinated conversation today is none other than Drew Brennan. What's up, Drew?
How are you?
I'm doing well, man. I'm so glad you just came by to break bread with me. Well, more so, have a cup of coffee and some conversation, man. Been knowing you probably for like 16, 17 years now.
Yes, sir.
You were just a young teenage guy on fire for God, and you became a Christian rapper, and man, like we just talking off camera, 5 albums in and still going strong.
Yes,
just give my listeners and viewers just a little background on how you even got into music and more so Christian music.
Yeah, of course. Long story short, I had grown up in the church, but more or less I just kind of went through the motions until I became a teenager, and then I kind of experienced Jesus for myself and understood what salvation was and, you know, what he did for me.
Yeah.
But I had always had a passion for hip hop, no matter what. You know, when I was little, that's what I really was drawn to.
Yeah.
So when I was in high school, I had met a couple kids who was really big into the culture, and they were writing lyrics, and of course it was sex and drugs and all this stuff. But I kind of felt God place it on my heart, you know, if they can do it for the world, you can do it for my glory and my kingdom.
Yeah.
And I kind of heard the Lord tell me that. So when I was 17 years old, I started, and ever since then I've been doing it.
Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, you know, I don't want to take, you know, no glory in your origin story, but I think that, you know, at the church that it was Pinewood Tabernacle at the time, might have been your first live show.
You know, I wanted to give you a big shout out.
Oh man,
you're the reason, and then cameraman over here gave me my first opportunity to perform at a concert. It was August 20th or 25th, 2007,
All right.
and I still got the flyer. In my
man.
studio, I got the flyer of that event, and I just appreciate you guys for having me and giving me that opportunity.
Yeah.
to
So
perform.
what gave you the courage to you know just? I think we got what was it, some sort of DM or email? I don't remember.
I think it was MySpace.
It was MySpace.
I think so. Yep.
It was a MySpace.
I don't know how I came across it, but
Yeah.
I came across you guys or the flyer on MySpace.
Okay.
And it was like, if you would like to perform, send us a message. And I was like, I thought I wasn't going to get it, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try. I reached out. You guys put me on, and I'm forever grateful for that.
Yeah, I think at the time, Jesse, he was, you know, we was putting it together, and he told me, I think he was the one that got the message. He was like, some young guy named True, man. He want to get on. I was like, okay, well. And then you came out, man, and you've been going hard ever since, man.
I appreciate it.
And I know you go by True. Your new name is Drew, but True Muzik is the name of your ministry. And
Right.
Tell me about the origin of that. It says established in 2007. So,
Yes, sir.
you know, tell me about the origin of that concept.
Okay. So when I had first started in 2007, my first mixtape was named True Muzik and spelt this way.
Yeah.
And up until like 2019, I think, I went by the name True.
Right.
But the only problem with that was it was impossible for people to find me. If you Google True, you know, you got True Blood, some vampire TV show. You got True Fitness Equipment. You got all this stuff. And I'm like, man, I can't be doing that in this day and age. So I had to rebrand everything to True Muzik. And then now, if you search anywhere, spelt like this, you're going to find me.
Oh, man, I like that.
So
man. I like that. So
that's where it come from.
So, like, you was like 17 when you started.
Yes, sir.
But I know, like, as a 17-year-old, like you said, on fire for God, you know, evangelizing, traveling around, doing music, like, so as you became in a, like, more mature man, like, tell me some of the ups and downs or some of the things, because you still doing music today is a testament that it's your passion, but it had to be some times where you like, should I still be doing this? Am I getting too old for this? You got, you know, family, you got things you're doing career-wise. So tell me about, as much as you could recall during those years, like how you can want to piece that together.
There was a season in life where I can't really get too much into it, but everything seemed to be falling apart in a lot of different ways. And during those times, I had put music on the back burner just to focus on trying to get everything, back in order as far as my family, my home life, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So during that season, I had took a step away, not like, hey, I'm done,
Right.
but just kind of silently stepped to the side. But I never told myself I was quitting. I never felt the need to quit either. Like, I just always felt this was the ministry God gave me. And then going through a career change as far as, going from what I was doing to what I do now.
Yeah.
I had to do a lot of schooling, so that also made me take a little step back.
Okay.
But again, not publicly. I never quit. But now that all the schooling and all that's done, I've been 100% and just grinding as best as I can.
Yeah, so I know like back then, like primarily our audiences were teens and youth. Like to this day, is it still the same audience, or do you find yourself finding men that kind of grew up around your same time that appreciate the music as well?
It's both, actually.
Okay.
I know I can resonate with teens and younger people just because hip-hop generally does that. But even people a little bit older can really appreciate the lyrics and my heart behind it. And they tell me, they're like, oh, a lot of rap I hear is hard to understand, but you are very clear with what you say, and we really appreciate your message. So it has actually resonated with older people, even to the point one of my songs have been used. It's a good thing, but it ain't. But one of my songs have been used for 3 different funerals. They played my song there, and I'm like, man,
okay,
it's an honor that somebody would do that. But obviously, death is a sad thing.
Right. Yeah, but hey, we don't mourn like those that don't have no hope.
Right.
What I mean?
Amen.
So, yeah. So, man, it's so much I want to talk to you about, because just seeing you like a lot of my listeners and viewers don't know, I used to be a Christian rapper too. So
yes, sir.
Mine came more so out of I wanted a mode of expression, because I came up in a old school church, right? So it was like the only way you was gonna get if you thought that you had a gift or a speaking gift, you had to pretty much wait a long time, right? So I was like, I felt like I had a message, and I felt like I had a voice. So I had always been in the hip hop as a teen. I mean, I used to walk around. My mom said probably for a good 2 years of high school, like I couldn't say 3 sentences without trying to make a rhyme, So she thought, her and my brothers thought something was wrong with me, for real. But like you said, that was it's about sex, drugs, violence, things of that nature. So when I gave my life to Christ, we were encouraged to throw away all our tapes and CDs and anything that had any influence as far as music wise. Now, with my daughters over the years, I had grew to know that some things they listen to, you just have to kind of stay in tune so you can give them a wisdom or understanding on what it is that they're doing. But I want to say all that to say, like, for you, like the music, I know you was in the music, but then if I'm not mistaken, was your dad in the ministry?
Yeah, he was a pastor.
So was he encouraging you at the time, or how because back for a while, there was kind of a Christian rap was kind of seen as taboo for the people then. Like right now, like a lot of youth probably don't know that all the walls that was being broken down back then. But how did your dad encourage you, like when you got started?
Him and my mom were always supportive. Like, they weren't fans of rap, but once they heard what you could do with it and how you could use it to glorify God and, X, Y, and Z, they were always supportive. My dad bought me my first microphone and little interface, a little cheap thing, but it worked and it got the job done.
What was the first software you used?
Cubase.
Cubase?
LE, yep. Okay, and I never liked it, but it's what I had. So, but they were always supportive and a real blessing to the ministry.
So from back then, because I know everybody was going so hard for, how we were living back then. Like over the years, like how has I know your message hasn't changed, but how has your attitude towards like your audience, has that changed at all? As far as, okay, we came up, it was like, you had to be almost perfect. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? So our heart was like, me personally, it was like, this is how you're supposed to live. This is how you're supposed to do it. It was
Okay.
more so regimen. But then as I began to live long enough and started living life and things happen to me in life or going through things with my kids, because I know I was like, oh, my kid's going to be like this and that. Now you start having difficulty with your children. It's like, well, I thought that all I had to do was do it this way and everything was just going to be, you know. So have you, over the years, found like different, because like I said, you've been doing it a long time, like different, everything still kind of remain the same as far as the youth that you see, or because back then, like you say, it was MySpace, so social media was different, access to, you know, everybody, you know, we came up, if you had text on your phone, you had to hit the button 2-3 times, you know. So like, how has, like, when you talk to the youth, like, do you find yourself having to come into contact with things that you didn't before?
Yeah, I guess it might be a little harder to relate with them on a personal level, because things when we were young were so different than what they are now. But overall, I think God's been faithful to allow me to talk and communicate in a way they can relate with, or anybody can relate with, for that matter. I would think I'm a personable person, so I think it's kind of always worked out. Thank God.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I know you became a fireman a few years back.
Yes, sir.
So how has that process? I mean, because that's like real life danger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you get caught to a fire. Like, I have a friend of mine. He was a fireman. And he told me some stories about things that he witnessed or saw. I had a chance to interview a former Chief Bird, and me and him talked about a lot of things concerning, like, you know, firemen. So how has that trend, when you went through that, like, how did that bring you, translate in your faith, like how you saw things? I know a lot of times God will show you so much just dealing with different situations.
Yeah. It definitely gives you the point of view of being grateful. And not that I wasn't never grateful, but it's like I have seen a lot of things, crazy things that people probably shouldn't see.
Right.
But like, you kind of look at life differently, like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for my health and my family. And I think it's actually made me grow closer in my walk with God, because especially when people in the fire service hear that I'm a Christian rapper, oh my gosh, I never hear the end of it. Still to this day, I never hear the end of it. But I think it's honestly helped strengthen my faith, and I'm still able to stand firm in what I believe and share with them about God and be the example God made me to be. And I'm not saying it's easy, because it ain't.
For sure.
But it's helped me grow in my relationship, I think, with the Lord. And as far as the job goes, I really enjoy the job. It was the best, like, professional change I could have made, I feel. And but yeah, it's been great. I really enjoy it. And as far as the danger goes, I mean, it is dangerous, but not every call or every fire is, you know, the big one. But when they do happen, you kind of think to yourself, like, Father, please protect me.
I know that's right.
This is the time,
100%.
or this could be the time. But
100%.
God's good. Injuries can happen, but He's been faithful, and my wife's very supportive of it from day one. She's like, "Go do it. That's what you want to do. Go do it." And I can't speak highly enough of her.
That's a blessing, man.
It's been great.
That's a blessing. So I know you have children, so how do they feel about that, you know, being a Christian rapper, or that's something that they just kind of like never knew different?
I don't think they ever really known different. It's cool because my daughter, she just turned 13. She invites her friends to my concerts a lot.
Okay.
And I don't know what her friends think, but they come.
Right.
So like, they can't hate it or nothing.
Right.
But my kids have kind of always known me to do it.
Yeah.
So they help set up at shows or carry equipment or whatever.
Oh,
and they're supporters as well.
I like that, man.
They're great kids.
I saw you on another podcast, and you were talking about the eagle, and what it represents to you. Can you share a little bit about that?
Absolutely. When I first started doing music, around that time there was a verse that really stood out to me, and it was Isaiah 40:31, and it says, "Those who wait upon the Lord, He'll renew their strength. They'll mount up on the wings of eagles. When they won't grow tired, they won't grow weary, they'll walk and not faint." And basically, the Lord is our strength. And that always resonated with me. Like, I love that scripture so much. And it never really was a patriotic thing.
Okay.
Like, even though, do I love the country? Sure.
Right.
But it was a faith thing for me.
Yeah,
So
like
the
that,
Eagle
yeah.
stuck out with me, and I kind of incorporated it into a song, which I could share about that if you'd like me to.
Yeah.
But that became kind of like, if people start to see this, they recognize it's me. And it
Yeah.
kind of became a part of me. And I'm really grateful for that. But
Yeah.
it comes from that verse.
Now you can share about the song, like we having a conversation, like think about like Two Cups, man, like our conversation is more so a journey. I know we have questions that we ask, but it's more so to see wherever, where we led. We don't have a agenda. We're not trying to land the plane. We just trying to, just whatever we want to talk about. So yeah, you talk about the song about it.
Okay. So in 2007 is when I started. The first song I wrote and recorded, so I call it my single, even though it wasn't single ready at all. But back in that time, it was called Bird's Eye View.
Okay.
Right. And the hook in the song goes, consider the perspective of a bird's eye view. The Lord high above looking down on you. Are you stuck on the ground with those he's going to spew? Or have you taken to flight with his faithful few?
Okay.
And so I actually took those 4 bars, incorporated them into a new song called Fly High in 2011.
Okay.
So it was kind of a nod or a throwback to my single. And then in 2022, I released a third song called Take Flight, which features my wife.
Okay.
And I used those same 4 bars in that song.
Yeah.
So those 4 bars and those songs became like a trilogy.
Okay.
And so I have 3 of them now with those 4 bars. And I'm really glad my wife was able, because she sings on it. She does the hook. And we did a music video for it. And I'm really glad she was able to be a part of it because of how much it means to me. And then it's been awesome the way God has used this eagle in the verse and everything. It's
100%, man.
really
Thank
cool.
you for sharing that, man. Like,
Yeah.
I always like to see people in their processes, like even like, I don't even care if it's professional or if it's entrepreneurial, if it's artistry. I like to see people's process, because so many times, like, we don't know the story behind, whatever somebody's put together. So, and then we get so busy in life and, exchanging niceties and pleasures when we see each other. But
Right.
if you won't take time to sit down and just kind of like, what was you thinking about when you did this, or where did that come from, or sometimes you don't want to overshare because you feel like you're talking too much.
You're right.
But in a situation like this, that's what we're supposed to be doing, is talking. So you can just feel free, man, to, if you want to expound on anything that you can. But one thing about when I started this podcast, Two Cups Cafe, I say it's Two Cups Cafe, but it's 2 cups. They call me 2 cups. It's one for the wake, one for the work. So that's kind of like my metaphor for life. So one for the wake is like every morning, like, get up, what am I thinking about? What am I meditating about? What am I looking forward to? And the second cup is the work. Like, what am I working on? What steps am I taking, to further that goal? So if you had, your 2 cups, like, what would you say that they would be in this season?
Well, caffeine to wake up is always a good thing. So one for that for sure. And then the second one would be, man, just to keep focused. Life moves so quickly, first of all.
Yeah.
The years just blink by. Every day is something new. Work comes and goes so quickly. And I guess it's just being ministry minded and focused on Jesus. And my last album was called Jesus First. And that's something I really try to do. And all that I do is put Jesus first and think about, like, is what I'm doing today pleasing to God? Is what I'm doing today something that he would be proud of, or is it self-centered?
Right.
Is it about me?
Right.
So I would say that just, being focused on the kingdom of God and trying to do what he would have me to.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of Christian rappers or artists or, performers of a lot of different sorts, sometimes I feel like that's I don't want to say a challenge, but I feel like that's a constant wrestle, because you can get cheers, you can get accolades, you can get followers or likes or fans, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then how do you, a lot of times you feel like, I don't want to say not worthy, but because, but how do you wrestle with that aspect of it all?
It's funny because I was thinking that on the way here to do this. I'm like, man, I don't feel worthy of the things that I do. And not that I've done anything too crazy as far as like extraordinary goes. But I was like, I always feel unworthy to be on a stage and rap about Jesus. And I always feel unworthy to sell a CD, or if somebody wants me to sign something. Like, I'm a nobody. I just want to be a dude that loves God, who shares about God. So like, it is a hard thing to balance, like, because you don't want to take credit or glory in any sort of way, but at the same time, it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
But I always just do my best to deflect it and be like, hey, glory to God, praise God. But ultimately, just, I'm trying to be a vessel and do what God has me to do, and I'm really excited to do what I do. And I pray that continues for however long He would have me to do it.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I want to call him a friend, a mentor, somebody that gave me some advice years ago to deal with that. Because I was kind of like, wrestling with not wanting, trying to be like over humble almost.
Yeah.
And it was Corey Red, man. He told me one time. He said, man, people didn't pay $15 to see nobody, man. They came to see somebody, so you gotta get up there. You gotta get up there and be something, man. You can't inspire nobody being a nobody.
That's true.
So he gave me. I'm paraphrasing, but if y'all know Corey Red, like, he was real blunt and to the point. Like, that stuck with me like for years. Like, every time I kind of find myself shrinking back and not want to be in the front, I'm like, nah. Somebody might need to hear it, and God might use my experience and my voice, to get ultimately what message He wants to convey across. So, but that's been a blessing for me, man.
I did a show last week in Pettiesville, Ohio.
Okay.
Probably like 45 minutes from here, I would imagine. But anyways, one of the performers came up to me, and he's like, man, I really appreciate your stage presence. He's like, you know how to control a crowd. You do it really well. And he's like, I want to be like that. And I felt flattered, because I'm like, it ain't nothing nobody taught me. Like, I guess I just learned it along the way.
Yeah, for sure.
But I was like, man, for another artist to tell me that, like, that's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm like, and then, but before the concert, he's like, do you ever get nervous? And like, not really anymore, because I know God has me there for a reason,
right? And
I need to convey what He wants me to, and hopefully it'll sow a seed or help water a seed, and then He bring the increase, Jesus. So
I used to get nervous all the time, but it wasn't more so of the crowd. It wasn't more so of what was going on, man. I used to be nervous. I would forget my rhymes all the time.
People don't understand how many words are in a typical rap song.
Right.
There's like, I think I did the math one day. I compared, like, a worship song has like 40.
Okay.
A typical rap song has like 325 or something like that. And if I'm doing an hour set, which is like 12 songs, how many words is that?
Right, exactly.
But thankfully, God always shows up and doesn't let me forget. But speaking of nerves, this sticks out to me. The first concert I did with you guys, thanks to you guys, I remember walking up to that stage, my mouth went completely dry. Like, I lost every bit of saliva and like hydration in my body.
Yeah.
And I remember like struggling so bad because it was my very first time. But I think it went well.
Yeah, for sure.
And some people said it went okay. But that's one of the big takeaways from that moment, man.
Yeah.
I was dying inside, but thank God I've grown since then.
Bro, had your breakthrough, man.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. So you 5 albums in, man.
Yeah.
You got any advice for any young guys? I know it's so much easier now just to, you could throw on your phone, and a lot of times some of those recordings is better than the ones that we had way back in the day. The stuff that we had, just the technology. But what kind of advice would you give the youngsters?
Man, stay consistent. That is the biggest thing. Obviously, life happens and situations come up, and you might have to take steps back here and there. But stay consistent. Honestly, I do not like social media.
Okay.
I really hate it, but I know it's needed.
Yeah.
I know I have to use it in order to be effective. But like, I would say, stay consistent, post often. Otherwise, people forget about you.
Yeah. Quick.
Yeah. Quick. And just stay, stay at it.
Yeah.
One thing my dad said to me one day, which is always in the back of my mind, he's like, do you ever think you'll run out of creativity and songs and rhymes and stuff? And like, I haven't yet, thank God. But I'm like, man, maybe one day just it ain't gonna work no more. So I was like, I always, God's always been faithful. So keep your creative juices flowing and always try to think, how can I make this and how could I, stay consistent while I'm doing it?
Yeah.
Would be my advice.
My advice, just to piggyback on that, is like tell the youngsters. Well, I'm sharing it with the youngsters now too, but don't put yourself in the echo chamber, like where everybody thinks exactly just like you, or talks exactly like you, or come from the same background exactly like you, because then it's like you find yourself only trying to reach you.
Yeah.
You know, but to have like, and don't age shame. I know my daughters, they told me like, Dad, when you turn 40, you gotta quit rapping. You know, that's a true story. Because it was like, man, but don't age, because man, hip hop or Christian like music, you know, rap or whatever, is transcended.
Yeah.
So many generations now. Like have people around you that's been doing it before, or then have strong counsel, you know, with your family, your church, professionally, and do things in excellence, like the best you can.
Yes.
Like make the investment. Like I know when we were younger, I used to really try to, as close as we could, you know, get to the standard of professionalism,
100%.
You know, the best we could, and because that's what a knock on like a lot of like Christian artists used to be, was like they were mainstream artists or secular artists knockoffs. You know, don't be a knockoff.
Yeah.
So you gotta get your own sound, your own style, and like you said, be consistent, man. That's powerful, man. Anything else you want to share? You got any things you're working on coming up?
Oh yeah, but just to piggyback off that real quick, as far as advice goes, I would say be yourself.
Yeah.
Because like me, I am well aware I don't sound like a lot of other artists. And I'm well aware that I don't necessarily follow today's trends, like the mumble rap and whatever people are doing today.
Right.
I do what I feel God gives me, and I honestly just be myself.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
Like, I don't really compare to nobody else, and I don't really think about it either, because like I want to be me. When I first started, I modeled after some people, like, well, they're sweet, I want to be sweet that. Like, you know what I mean? But once you kind of get in your own rhythm and you get some experience behind you, you kind of find your own sound. And that's what I would encourage other artists as well. Just be yourself, don't copy nobody.
No, you can't be a copycat.
And if I don't fit in with today's trends of music, I don't care.
Right.
Like, you know, I'm still going to do it because I feel God gives me, you know, the will and ability to do it. And he's been using it, so that's good enough for me. But as far as projects go, I'm releasing a new single, probably the beginning of the year.
Okay.
It's called Light Up the World.
Okay.
And it actually features my wife. This is our 4th song together.
Yeah.
I did it at the last couple concerts, and everybody really seemed to like it, so I'm excited about that. And then I released a single in July, which is already a couple months ago. Time just goes so fast. Called Dominion.
Okay.
And just talking about walking in authority and the power of Jesus.
Yeah.
And claiming what he gave us, which was, you know, victory in him.
I like that. So I know you say your wife, but production-wise, like musically, do you do your own music too, or do you work with a team, or do you like solicit different producers or whatnot?
Yeah. The beats and the music I get from wherever.
Okay.
I try to do, you know, exclusives and everything, but as far as everything else, I record it, I mix it, I master it, and then I distribute it myself, like every artist does. But going off what you said about excellence, that is one thing that also is huge and people take note of.
Okay.
Is that when you do it, try to do it with excellence. And one other artist said that to me. He's like, man, I know if I book you for an event, you're going to show up, you're going to do a good job, you're going to look good in the way you do things, and I don't question that. And I'm like, man, that speaks volumes to me, because I always talk with my wife, like, try to be as excellent as you can, but don't go broke while doing it. Right. You know what I mean? Right. You can rack up credit card debt very quickly trying to look good, but trying to be excellent and do it unto God goes a long way.
Oh, that's real good advice, though, man. Because that's like even with the podcast, I try to do my best.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So when people come across it, they might not know who I am from a can of paint, or who even my guest is. But if it's done in excellence and quality, they might say, "Well, I don't know who these guys are," but I might stay a while and see what they're talking about just because of the presentation. So
This looks fantastic, man.
oh, thank you, man.
It looks excellent to me.
Thank you, man.
I totally agree.
Appreciate you, man. Before we get out of here, man, I just want to say, like, it's a blessing to catch up with you and to see you actually in what they say in church, in the flesh. To see you in the flesh,
In the
man,
flesh.
because I've been just seeing you for years, online, come across some things you do here and there, and it's I always use the word inspiring with all my guests because all my guests inspire me, but it's inspiring to see, you carrying that torch, and continue and being faithful in the gifts that God has given you, man.
Amen.
I just pray He continue to bless you, man, and I'm looking forward to more of your music, and also, just sitting down and just talking some more and, reminiscing about old times, but then again, making some new memories, man.
Amen.
Yeah. So I just want to say once again, I'm going to put True Muzik's his information in the link in the description, and like, share, subscribe. We talk to all different type of people from all walks of life. Like I said, I don't only try to be in an echo chamber as a content creator. I want to talk and be inspired by everybody's story. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be anything but have your own personal testimony, your own story, your own life. And I'm looking forward to building and meeting with all you guys. Till next time, 2 Cups.